What does it take to become the most feared fighter on the planet? Is it natural talent, a relentless drive to win, or something deeper, something forged in the mountains of a land where fighting is a way of life? This is the incredible story of Islam Makhachev. From a small village in Dagestan to the top of the UFC, his journey is one of discipline, defeat, and destiny. Raised in the shadow of legends, marked by a single loss that nearly defined him, and driven by the vision of a mentor, this is not just a story of a fighter. This is a story of how one man turned a promise into a world title, and a legacy into reality. To understand Islam Makhachev, you need to understand where he comes from. Born in Burshi, a remote mountain village in Dagestan, Russia, life for Islam was shaped by hardship, cold air, and a culture of toughness. In Dagestan, combat isn't just sport, it's tradition. Makhachev was introduced to martial arts early, training in combat sambo, a Russian discipline combining judo, wrestling, and striking. He wasn't just physically gifted, he was thoughtful, strategic. He earned a degree in physical education, showing an academic dedication to the science of fighting. From the dusty gyms of Makhachev to national-level sambo championships, Islam was building a foundation few could match. In 2016, he even became the world champion in combat sambo, just like his mentor, Khabib. No story about Islam Makhachev is complete without Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov, the late father and coach of Khabib. Abdulmanap wasn't just a trainer, he was a visionary. He believed Islam was destined to follow in Khabib's footsteps. Long before Makhachev became a UFC title contender, Abdulmanap spoke of the father's plan: Khabib would retire undefeated, and Islam would take over as champion. Makhachev trained alongside Khabib for years. They were more than teammates. They were brothers in arms. And Khabib, after retiring in 2020 with a 29-0 record, passed the torch to Islam, calling him the best lightweight in the world. Islam Makhachev's professional MMA career began in 2010. He dominated the Russian regional scene, going undefeated and earning a UFC contract in 2014. His debut was flawless, a submission victory. But then came UFC 192 in 2015. In just under 2 minutes, Islam was knocked out by Adriano Martins. His unbeaten record was gone. The hype? Shaken. For many fighters, such a loss would derail everything. But not in Dagestan. Loss is a lesson, not a failure. Islam returned to the gym, reworked his strategy, and began a steady, quiet ascent. He didn't chase headlines, he chased perfection. If you're enjoying this deep dive into one of MMA's most powerful journeys, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We've got more real stories, real legacies, and real moments that go beyond the cage. From 2016 onward, Makhachev went on a dominant run. Fight after fight, he dismantled opponents with a calm, smothering style. He wasn't flashy, but he was flawless, outclassing names like Drew Dober, Dan Hooker, and Arman Tsarukyan. His blend of grappling and striking made him one of the most complete fighters in the lightweight division. By the time he reached a 10-fight win streak, the MMA world could no longer ignore him. The whispers of Abdulmanap's prediction grew louder. The heir wasn't just arriving, he was taking over. At UFC 280 in October 2022, Makhachev faced Charles Oliveira, the record holder for most finishes in UFC history. Many doubted Islam could handle Oliveira's aggression and submission game. Instead, Islam dominated. He dropped Oliveira with a clean punch and submitted him with an arm triangle choke in round 2. When the belt was wrapped around his waist, Khabib, now his coach, lifted his arm. It was more than a victory. It was the fulfillment of Abdulmanap's vision. The student had become the champion. After becoming champion, Islam didn't take easy fights. His first title defense was a super fight against UFC featherweight champion Alexander Volkanovski at UFC 284. The bout was razor close, but Islam won by unanimous decision. 8 months later, he silenced doubters with a devastating first-round headkick knockout in their rematch at UFC 294. Then, at UFC 302, he defended his title again, this time against veteran Dustin Poirier. Makhachev won with a 5th-round submission, showcasing his cardio, technique, and mental toughness. With 14 straight wins, Islam now holds one of the longest winning streaks in UFC history. He's no longer in Khabib's shadow, he's cast his own. So, what does it take to become the most feared fighter in the world? For Islam Makhachev, it took a mountain village, a legendary mentor, the humility to rebuild after defeat, and a promise to fulfill a plan greater than himself. From Bershi to UFC gold, Makhachev is a champion forged by purpose. He is no longer the heir. He is the king. And now, with talks of moving up to welterweight, a second belt might be within reach. The story is far from over. The only question is, who's going to stop him?